What are we doing today?
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden.
I've wreaked havoc.
Can I swear now?
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1284, April 10th, 2024. 88 degrees on this day back in 1977.
Hey.
And 18 degrees on this day in 1962. The swimming season is rapidly approaching. We're headed for the 70s this weekend. And if you have a lake or a swimming hole, get a hold of Aquaside. They'll take care of the algae and the weeds and all the junk that's in there that you don't want. Aquaside's been helping people maintain great lake shores for more than 60 years. They're a White Bear Lake company. They know their lakes. They have a complete line of lake and pond control products that work quickly. They're safe. They're approved by the DNR, but most importantly, very easy to use. I've used them. That's how easy they are. Call them. They'll identify your weed problem and get you the right products. Call Aquaside at 1-800-328-9350 or go to aquaside.com. We have ice outs brought to you by Aquaside. Minnetonka went out today.
Come on.
In 1934, 1959, 1963, 1977, you'll note that the record high today was 1977, 88 degrees, and 1992. White Bear Lake went out on April 10th, 1935, 1948, 1953, and like Minnetonka in 1992.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
You were talking about Kathy Cargill yesterday and our desire that she would join us on the show. I have people working on that. I don't know.
Good.
I don't know if she'll join us.
Please.
But I got a note from Brian Miller, who writes, a listener since the beginning. I love the segment on Kathy Cargill, an ore docker. I am in my 13th year as the athletic director of the Ore Dockers. We are proud of that mascot. You nailed the pronunciation of the family name of, he keeps calling her Mary Cargill, Kathy Cargill. It's Paspahala.
Yeah.
That is a great Ashland family who have towed vehicles and helped people for many years. We would be thrilled if Superior and Duluth have denigrated this wonderful woman. If she loses her investment, we would certainly allow her to help develop the waterfront in Ashland.
I've just had an idea. Who was that hack writer that you loved so much in New York when he couldn't interview anybody important for the JFK murder, interviewed the doctor or the ambulance driver or whatever the hell the guy was?
I will not answer you till you retract the hack part.
Ooh, whoops.
That was just me fishing. My idea is
Jimmy Breslin.
We take a page from his book.
Yeah.
And we interview her dad.
Well, we could. Or we interview the athletic director at the Ore Dockers.
No, her dad.
Let me tell you more about Mary.
Willard Anger writes, we all enjoy Rookie's unique blend of open valve commentary and class clown disruptiveness. But hasn't he been around a lot lately? Is it slow at the airport? God love him, Willard Anger.
Okay. I ran into Mary Morality today. Jim from Sanibel, who's no longer in Sanibel.
Right.
He said hello. I did miss 50 Cent. 50 was at the Timberwolves game last night where Anthony Edwards scored 51 for 50.
Yeah. Did you talk to Mary Morality?
I greeted her. I did not introduce who I was because she was from afar. I
wonder where that fraud's going now on vacation.
I was teasing her that she was on vacation, but she says it's actually for work. So it was just 10 seconds.
Wait.
Does she know who you are?
We don't know that.
No idea. I think she was surprised to be recognized.
I don't think I can respect you if you didn't say something mean to her.
I wasn't close enough.
You could have yelled, "Go bleep yourself."
Yeah, just at the top of your lungs.
You know what? I just wasn't feeling it.
Hey, Mary, GL says go.
Right.
Can I finish these emails before I get to the destructive news?
What are you waiting for?
Well, Downing has a prediction. We have women's college basketball coaches being pressured to say they would welcome trans players on their teams. As that becomes a reality, we will get to the point where any coach who does not have a trans player on his or her team will be questioned. Why don't you have any trans players? Are you and your program transphobic? As a result, they will start to actively recruit trans players. They will all need a token tranny. The irony, the token tranny player will often be the best player on the team. Downing notes, put this in the book of predictions. Well, it's either that or the insanity will end, and we won't have to have boys on women's teams.
I don't see that happening. I think he's right. It's ESG. They don't have any choice. They have to do it.
Dawn Staley, what school is it? South Carolina championship team said that she welcomes trans players. Finally, another note on the eclipse. All right. I'm guessing you're played out on eclipse news, but here's the email my daughter's school sent last week regarding eclipse safety. I won't put his name down. Dear Big Lake families, as we approach the highly anticipated solar eclipse on Monday, April 8, we want to take a moment to remind our students and families about the importance of safety viewing this celestial event. While solar eclipses are remarkable, it is crucial to remember the potential dangers associated with looking directly at the sun. We'll be working with staff to keep students indoors during the eclipse to discourage unsafe viewing of the event while we can.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
Please note that the eclipse is anticipated to begin around 1 p.m. and end around 3 p.m. This means we cannot completely avoid students going outside and being tempted to look at the sun, as our elementaries dismiss students within that time frame. As partners in your child's education and well-being, we ask for your assistance in reinforcing to never look directly at the sun. Even during an eclipse, the sun's rays can cause serious damage to the eyes. Please take some time this weekend to remind your child to never look directly at the sun without proper eye protection. Right now, if the weather prediction of clouds and rain on Monday holds true, there will be no concerns. However, we appreciate your support in reinforcing these important safety guidelines at home in case the weather predictions change. Sincerely, Tim Trubenbach, Superintendent.
Okay. Tim, you don't get it.
Tim is a very, very soft individual who was probably raised by hippie crybabies who didn't dare let their kids out of the house. I don't know about you guys, but it never, as a child, it never occurred to me to look at the sun until somebody told me not to.
Right.
And then I'm looking right at it. And
don't press this button.
What happened when I looked at the sun? I learned a valuable lesson that still holds true today.
I thought the whole deal was the kids made their little viewing cardboards in class where they cut a little hole, and then they took them outside, and you got to see the eclipse.
The cardboard sunglasses, the welding mask.
Kid I used to have paid extra to overnight to herself the eclipse viewing sunglasses. There being nothing to see here in the Twin Cities.
Well, you can't have it all, right?
One that surfaced was one of my favorites. It's an oldie but a goodie, in which there's a woman trying to get a little bit closer to get a photo on her cell phone. She takes out the stepladder that's about 2 feet high. That ought to do her.
Get a better view.
Well, that's the equivalent of the woman who wanted it moved to the weekend.
Right. Yeah.
Joe, whatever happened to the Garage Logic Groin Kick Awards? Because
the groinies.
They're so frequent that we just could not keep up.
You've read 2 of those kind of letters.
Groin Kick is super.
Okay.
Yeah, in the last 2 days. You read another one yesterday, too. A Minnetonka, from Reaver's part of the world.
Yeah, it was down Reaver's way. Same thing. Just
That deserves this.
there you go. I have a concerning note. The Reverend Tim needs a kidney.
Oh, boy.
He's got some kidney disease. He needs a transplant. I think we should mention that on the off chance that people could help Tim. Maybe we should call him later in the week and see how his search is going. He does the Lord's work.
Yeah, he does.
Literally.
Mhm.
And he needs some help there, the Reverend Tim. Is today the 10th of April?
Sure is.
Yes.
Is that a blood type match situation? How do you know
I
if
believe
you're
it is.
a match?
I don't know that.
All right. Okay.
Well, this is dated the 10th. We have a new State Department diversity chief.
Oh.
All right. The Biden administration has a new State Department diversity chief who has called America a failed historic model and demanded the destruction of tradition at every juncture on the altar of anti-racism. Her, of course, Blinken announced this appointment. Her name is Zakia Carr Johnson. She's now the Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer for the State Department.
Well, let's check her background here.
And Blinken touted Carr, C-A-R-R, Carr Johnson, for bringing expertise and a fresh perspective on how we build a workforce that reflects America. Well, I would reflect America too, but all the Americans I know don't hate America.
Oh, correct.
Carr Johnson previously served as Obama's senior advisor and director of the first Race, Ethnicity, and Social Inclusion Unit of the State Department. Blinken noted her experience since leaving Obama's State Department. Her previous work promoting entrepreneurship and access to opportunity for underrepresented populations, as well as her commitment to inclusive leadership, make us stronger, smarter, and more innovative, he said. BS. Carr Johnson's experience consists of owning two relatively obscure companies, Odara Solutions, a DEI consulting firm, and Black Women Disrupt, an initiative in which Carr Johnson interviewed Black women involved in creative spaces around the world. She had a YouTube channel. It had 125 subscribers.
How many?
Wow. 125.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she's
1,000?
making no.
125.
Oh, whoops.
She's making top dollar
I
off
was
that.
impressed there for a while.
She said in a feminist webinar, she said in a feminist webinar in August of 2020, because we live and work within systems so deeply rooted in patriarchy and colonialism and racism and otherism. What have I been telling you all along? This all has to do with the country was flawed.
But what is she doing? She's got these jobs, probably getting these grants. What are they doing with the money?
Well, she's an activist, so that means she's living off the money.
Right.
She's not accomplishing anything.
I'm trying to look up.
We tend to be very resistant to shifts and changes. It's very uncomfortable for many colleagues. A culture of misogyny has allowed men to act without consequences, and it becomes part of what we believe is normal, right? In order to make any change, we've literally got to be about the work of dismantling the traditional structure at every juncture. She believes America is a failed historical model with a colonizing past. I guess they deleted that part of her.
She sounds so patriotic, Joe.
Who are you quoting there again, Joe?
Her.
Okay, her. Okay, because I have Blinken's statement.
Yeah, I read Blinken's statement.
Oh, the last paragraph is a real charmer.
I didn't get to that yet. Feminist. Oh, I can't. This is insanity, folks. It's just. It's a crazy.
Well, from what I'm seeing, it's saying one thing and then doing another. From what I'm reading from Blinken,
she demands intersectionality in all spaces.
Is that a made-up word?
I think so. I'm looking for Blinken's last quote. You can read it to me because I can't.
This is
find
the
it.
official release from the U.S. State Department, the final paragraph. All of us at the State Department must work to advance DEIA. If we are to create the inclusive workplace environment we need to continue to attract and retain the nation's top talent. When the people making decisions on behalf of the American people don't reflect the full diversity of our nation, we all lose, and our national security is weaker. Together, we will ensure the United States is best positioned to meet the challenges and opportunities of an increasingly complex world. So you read that, and that says one thing, and it's almost hard to disagree with it. But then you read the quotes from the gal, and it makes you kind of go, huh.
There is no Wikipedia page for her.
Is this the 10th of April?
Yep.
Well, we learned this today, too, that we got to rename the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore.
What'd Francis do?
Well, the Caucus of African American Leaders
Oh, my God.
is requesting Maryland Governor Wes Moore and the General Assembly to rename the bridge in honor of Representative Perrin J. Mitchell, the first black congressman elected to the U.S. House of Representatives from Maryland. The group said the bridge should not be named after the writer of the national anthem, who was a slaveholder. Okay. Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner while he was a prisoner aboard a British ship in the port of Baltimore during the War of 1812. He grew up on a slaveholding plantation in Maryland. He owned at least 6 enslaved individuals himself. He did free several of them eventually. His relationship with slavery is complicated. He opposed the transatlantic slave trade, and as an attorney, he defended enslaved people seeking their freedom. But he also represented slaveholders hoping to regain their runaway property. While Key opposed abolition, he supported the idea of sending free black men and women to Africa. He helped establish the American Colonization Society, which started a colony on the west coast of Africa, but became the independent nation of Liberia. See, you learn more here by accident than anywhere else by design.
He publicly criticized slavery and gave free legal representation to some slaves seeking freedom, but he also represented owners of runaway slaves.
The group is also calling to rename a bridge in Dorchester County named after Senator Frederick C. Malkus Jr. The group says he was resistant to desegregation during the civil rights movement. The group proposed renaming the bridge after civil rights leader Gloria Richardson. This is from WTOP in Washington. They reached out to Governor Wes Moore's office for comment. The governor said, "I am laser focused on providing closure to these families," meaning the people who lost lives during the bridge falling down. "I'm focused on clearing the channel and rebuilding the bridge." Well, the Francis Scott Key name won't last. That'll go. And I don't know who this other.
Whoa, you are related, bro.
I am?
Distant cousin to F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Really?
Yes. I don't know how distant, but you are related to. You're a shirt-tail relative of Francis Scott.
I
Key.
am.
Yep.
And I never owned slaves.
No. Well, we didn't have them in Minnesota, so you couldn't do that here.
Could they name the bridge after me?
The Suchi Bridge.
Oh, no, we'd find something in your past for sure.
I'll give them a whole list of things.
Yeah.
My question, though, is with Governor Wes Moore. Is it true his firstborn son, his name is Les?
I think so. Les Moore.
Les Moore?
Less.
Told you got to read the book, The Other Wes Moore.